and welcome back for yet again another day on our Iran war series. We're at day 20 of the Iran war as we head into Thursday morning here in the nation's capital. Going to be talking with you guys today, taking your questions. We'll be outside of the Capitol building, the U.S. Capitol, and the Supreme Court for a little bit, and then we'll head down probably around the White House. I gotta run an errand. Gotta run a couple errands this morning as well. So going to be a little bit of everything. Just want to say I thank you for tuning into the stream. Welcome back for another morning vertical live stream. Going to be hanging out with you guys for a few hours. Also going to be discussing the Iran war. Joe Kent, once again, pretty big topic. So let's get the poll question today on there for you. So we're going to be hanging out at the U.S. Capitol. We've got cherry blossoms blooming a little further yesterday. So cherry blossoms are starting to blossom. D.C. is starting to look like it's springtime once again. So happy to hang out with you guys this morning. Would love to take your questions, get to know you guys a little bit better, and we're going to chit politics once again. So excited to be with you. Triple D Gaming website says hi. Hello, Triple D Gaming website. Welcome to the stream this morning. Thank you for spending some time with us. Hope you're having a wonderful Thursday morning. Almost there to the weekend, guys. Just a couple more days. Just got to make it 2 more days and we're there. So yeah, our main topic today, everyone, we're talking about the Iran war again, talking about troubles in the Strait of Hormuz. This has been an ongoing issue now with oil prices. We know Iran's largest gas plant was attacked the other day, and the Iranians responded with additional attacks against Gulf countries, thus causing the energy market to once again show its volatility. So, and we're also here hanging out at the Supreme Court building as well this morning. Going to be hanging out with you guys, chit-chatting. We'd love if you guys have any questions. We'll be here in DC all morning. We can definitely chit-chat. So, also, if you're new to the stream, new to the channel, please leave the video a like, hit that subscribe button. We do content just like this all the time, walking around DC. I also have an anchor show for Tuesdays and Wednesday nights. We chit-chat politics. Last night, I had my buddy Zach on. We discussed the NIL college transfer portal, how it's kind of screwing with college sports a little bit. And it also did a little March Madness preview itself. So, okay, got a couple of new comments here. Uncle says, how are you doing, fella? I support Trump. I hope he can shake the United Kingdom back to life. Very cool, man. We've had a lot of people from the United Kingdom on the stream recently. So growing a little bit of a fan base in the UK. And Christopher 9737 says USA flag emoji. Yep, we're here right by the Supreme Court building in the United States. Our top judicial system, judicial branch, hanging out here with you guys. Josh has the Canadian flag in the chat, repping the Canadians. Nikola Tesla says, hello again, buddy. What's going on, big man? Welcome back to the stream. Hope you're having a great Thursday. Oh, we're almost there to the weekend, guys. So, look out some of these nice cherry blossoms. Can't really see them all the way over there, but they're starting to blossom a little bit. Looks very nice. So we're hanging out here in front of the Supreme Court, the U.S. Capitol for a little bit, Library of Congress. Then we're going to head down to the White House here in a little bit. Walk down to the White House. I got some errands. I got a busy. We won't be streaming a whole lot this weekend, guys. I have a wedding, so this might be one of the more better final times that we can chat for a couple days. Yeah, I'm one of my best pals. He's getting married, so we'll have I'll be quite swamped with wedding duties. Okay, at BC FY3RD says the world just needs to find Jesus Christ and everyone sit down and eat together. Peace to everyone. Beautiful message. Can't agree more. We need peace in this world. Your uncle says amen. Your uncle 80, I should say. So our main topic this morning, talking about war in Iran, once again, kind of alluded to it a few minutes ago. We're seeing the oil prices volatile once again, causing global panic. The Strait of Hormuz situation, it has still not been resolved, and oil prices remain high, causing some panic around the globe. It's very cool. If that tree wasn't there, this would be a phenomenal shot. Josh asks, what's your opinion on how long the war will be? God, it's a great question. It's just really hard to tell right now. It could go on. Probably my honest guess is now it's going to be a months to years timeline. I think everyone was hopeful at the beginning that it would be hours to days even, but it's not looking like that's going to be the case. It looks like, it's going to be a minute. So, yeah, Stormtrooper says 2-year war tops. America ain't this one though. And Urgent Fury says Canada. Yeah, we are here in Washington, D.C., everybody hanging out outside the Supreme Court building, taking your questions. We're chit-chatting about politics all morning long. We always have pretty solid little... Here we go. Yeah, I got the Versace's. We always have pretty solid little discussions and debates. Always fun talking with you guys. Every single day, more and more people are returning to the stream. So we're building a really solid channel here. Additionally, just at the beginning of last week, we were under 400 subscribers, and now we're right on the 600 line. So if you want to help us get towards 600, please hit that subscribe button, leave the video a like, ask a question, leave a comment, engage with someone else. So let's see. Stormtrooper says, we should have never gone to Iran in the first place. Nikola Tesla, I think due to Israel's interceptors being depleted, it can't go on too long, but I'm no military expert. Then Jassim91 says, hello, My friend, I remember joining one of your streams a few weeks ago. Had a good, healthy debate. It's Jazz from London, England. Hey, welcome back. Glad that we found each other once again here. One of the really exciting aspects of online life is that you can get connected to anybody, anywhere, really, right? So we're here in front of the Supreme Court building in Washington, D.C., capital of D.C. Right there is the U.S. Capitol building. So Anonymous says, I support Iran, and adds that the regime is strong and great, and says, I live in Iran. Amor 890 says, the tie suits you. The tie suits you. Looking handsome, Aulden. Hope you're good today. Thank you very much for the compliment. Guys treat me too well. Jay Slow, we'll call, Slow, BlackRock, State Street, and JP Morgan. Look at what commonalities they have. Z says, howdy. Good morning, Z. Howdy. Thank you for being here, big man. Your uncle says morality, peace isn't great, is it? 31 says, hi, I don't want war in Iran. Jasmine says, absolutely, the internet has done a wonderful thing and with being able to connect people together. Sadly, people just don't know how to converse anymore. BRB, I have to jump in mean, but I will be back if you are online in half an hour. Already awesome. Well, yeah, hope your meeting goes well. We'll probably be here. We'll be here for a couple hours today. So, handle your business. Uncle says, morality, police in Iran, my mistake. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I was a little confused by what you meant there, but thank you for the additional context, Uncle. Hey, everybody, if you're just now joining the stream, would love if you hit that like button. If you also hit that subscribe button, subscribe to the channel. We're rapidly approaching 600 subscribers, so would love if you hit that subscribe button, and you'll be able to join the conversation each and every morning that we have these. So thank you very much for hanging out with us on this Thursday morning. I'll have to keep the stream running for views, but I have to mute it. Thank you very much. That's super amazing. Colonel says, you see Joe Kent interview last night? I saw clips of it. I need to today. I'm going to listen to the whole thing. But I also know he's under investigation as well by the FBI. They say it's a different reason, but kind of suspicious timing, right? And Civil War historian 1861 says, hi. Hello, Mr. Civil War historian. Thank you for joining the stream today. Happy to have you here. Uncle says, I really hope Marco Rubio becomes the next president. Tweaker the Devourer says, so St. Patrick is Welsh. Yes, that's what my friend said. My friend Alicia, she born and raised, grew up in Ireland. So she'd know more than me, and I had her on a guest on the Ireland episode we did for St. Patrick's Day earlier this week. And Josh Amherst says, I have subscribed. Thank you, Josh. That's super. That's great, man. I appreciate the support big time, dude. Yeah, that's awesome. Everybody, yeah, we're hanging outside the Supreme Court and chilling out with you guys, hanging out with you on this Thursday morning, probably about 35, 38 degree range in DC. So we're just hanging out with you guys. Going to head to the White House here in a little bit, show you guys the White House as well. But I got some errands I got to run more downtown in DC. later on in the day. So then Alec on YouTube says St. Patrick was born in Roman Britain around Wales area, and he was captured by the Irish. And then Elizabeth Conley, believe, 79, 76, says, you heard about the oil fields in Qatar that were hit now. Yes. Iran. So Iran was hit by Israel. Some of their gas and oil components and infrastructure were hit. So they fired back on those huge oil fields in Qatar. And that's causing a lot of this volatility and panic right now within the markets. Jerry Seinfeld says, are you a staffer or what is going on? So a little bit about me. I used to work in the U.S. Senate. I'm a former congressional staffer. I worked for a senator from Indiana for 2 years. I have lived in D.C. a little bit longer than that now, though, and really just kind of frustrated with the system and the process. And I felt like a way that I could continue to help is connect people, show people what life is like on the ground in D.C., like a day-to-day life. That's why when I do these streams, we run into senators, we run into members of Congress all the time. So it's really imagine if you were just on the ground in DC each and every day, walking around, talking to people. We go protest in DC, see what people are saying there. I do man on the street interviews. And I also have usually Tuesdays and Wednesdays. This week I had to do it Monday and Wednesday, but usually Tuesdays and Wednesdays, we will have anchor shows where we discuss a geopolitical topic. Let's say the country of Ireland, for example. I brought on my friend Alicia from Ireland, and we discussed the country's history on Monday. And then last night I had my buddy on. We talked about NIL, sports gambling, the March Madness tournament, all that good stuff as well. So would love if you guys hit that subscribe button, leave the video a like, so we can create this mass awakening together. Okay. Good question, though. Jerry Seinfeld. Alec on YouTube says, do you like Israel? Nothing on a personal level, no, but it's just we should not have to give them our money, give them our resources for their wars, right? So that's it's nothing that, I don't dislike any country in particular just for them being in the country, right? So, your uncle says, long live Israel. Amor says, gas, petrol prices are going up. Month end prior to the war, prices dropped. Some groceries will follow here in Nimbia in SA. Sir Aldog says, hi, hello, Sir Aldog. Thank you for joining the stream this morning. Appreciate you being here, man. And Jerry Seinfeld says, oh, okay, so like organic DC life journalism. Nice. Yes. Yeah, I'd say that's a great way to describe it in a sentence, for sure. Yeah, just kind of shown a day in the life of someone involved in politics in DC. And we're building this channel. Even though that a lot of us are right wing on the channel, we are America first. So we want to bring in anyone who will help us put America first. So we're willing to work with everybody. Like I'd say 15 to 20% of the subscribers here are left wing. So, we have a diverse group of opinions and people that share their opinions on the channel. It's actually really fun and organic and cool. So would love anyone, no matter how you feel, to subscribe to the channel, hit that like button. You can definitely yeah, come and engage. And yeah, we try to change each other's minds here. So yeah, Sir Owl Dog, yeah, absolutely. America first, big man. 1980 Phillips says DC isn't even America, District of Columbia. Technically true, yeah. It's they don't have they don't have senators, they don't have a congressperson that can vote on legislation. The representative from DC can only vote on committee. Let's see. Alec on YouTube says, I got family in Israel, and I agree. Actually, if you don't live in any country, you shouldn't have to fund it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's just like they get free healthcare and free education, and we don't. You know, we're told there's no money for it. And not even that I would even agree with that stuff. It's just like, hey, man, like, I'd rather have my tax dollars going to try to get some kid education here in America than giving it to a foreign country. I think that should be, at least I think that makes more sense. Addie, the space pirate, says hi. Hello, Addie. Thank you for joining the stream this morning. We're out here outside of the Supreme Court building, talking with you guys, chit-chatting it up, meeting new people, talking about Israel, Palestine, talking about Ireland, talking about the whole shindig here this morning. Elizabeth Connolly says, well, after the fall of the Ottoman Empire and World War I, the League of Nations gave control of the region of Palestine to the UK. Then the United Kingdom signed the Balfour Declaration. Sean Fries says, hi, hello, Sean. Thank you for joining the stream this morning, big guy. Then Lynn says, I'm a libertarian. 1980 Phillips says, thank you. Sir Aldog says, if we actually weren't on real problems in DC instead of just diverting the real problems, then we would actually get things done for the tax-paying citizen. Uncle says, Awoken, what do you think about the Islamic takeover of United Kingdom? It seems to be happening in the States and places like New York. There's some of, I'd say, Muslim immigration, but more or less, like, it's not the most immediate problem in the country. There's most of the mass immigration that is flooding the country is from South America. It's from Venezuela, Nicaragua, those Mexico. It's those countries down there is where the mass immigrants are coming from. And the Muslims, to your point, they have a couple little enclaves, like in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and Dearborn, Michigan. And there's a good chunk of them in New York as well. But other than that, they're just kind of there right now. So I'd say the immigrant problem is more from the southern border as well. But your point definitely isn't like invalid though. Elizabeth Connolly says Israelis and Palestinians share ancestors. We've been lied to our entire lives. Jerry Seinfeld says, I'm leftist, but I think being involved in politics and paying attention to what is going on in the Capitol is important regardless of affiliation. I'll throw you a subscribe. Nice one. Thank you, Jerry Seinfeld. Appreciate you, big man. Happy to have you along the journey with us. Thank you so much. Colonel says, is Lindsey Graham or Ted Cruz the Israeli senator? I think both. Both of them are. Shadow and Rocky says, hi. Hello, Shadow. Thank you for joining the stream today. Slothful Bear says, no to war. Flex says, yo, this is the best Rocket Mortgage trademark commercial I've ever seen. Alec on YouTube says, I myself am a Masonic Jew. That means a Jew who accepts Jesus Christ but follows Jewish law too. Bear says, sup bro Chato. What's going on, Bear? Welcome back to the stream. Happy to have you here this morning. Hope you're having a great Thursday. Yeah, It's already Thursday, guys. Can you believe it? Week is flying by. Elizabeth says, I have nothing but sympathy for Jewish people. My great-grandmother was a Polish prisoner in the concentration camps. The problem is that people conflate Zionism with Judaism. Dean Sorter says, either way, illegally here, have to go. Please, war from California. Uncle says, 1980 Phillips, we won't go down without a fight. Then Z says, I think we all know what's going on. I think we all know what they have on Lindsey Graham. Yeah, I think we all have a little glaring suspicion there. 80 Phillips says, Israel isn't the true Israel. And then someone asks, what do you think about my family, Rothschild? You guys might be trying to, sounds like you guys might be trying to get a bank in Iran installed potentially soon. And then Bear says, all roads lead to Rome, Zost. 1980 Phillips says, Rothschild, laughing face emojis. Everybody, we're already up to 170 votes on our poll today. And it's about the same. We've waited a couple days before putting this poll out again for you guys. We did we talked about Joe Kent yesterday and other issues. Kind of took a day or two off from war in Iran, but it's still about 60-40 of you guys are 60% are opposed and about 40% are in favor of the war in Iran. So pretty interesting stuff there. Your uncle says, is Mr. Burns in The Simpsons Sir Jacob Rothschild? Pursuit says, you guys are idiots. Hey, that's not very nice. W8K says, true Persian do not want war. Iranian are good people, better than their enemies. Zost says, Iran is getting worse. And 1980 A. Phillips says, good one, your uncle, LMAO. Yep. Hey guys, we just had a fan text in, and they said we have now eclipsed 600 subscribers on YouTube. So just wanted to take a short little moment to thank you guys for being here and supporting the channel. We've gained over 200 subscribers in just the last 5 to 6 days alone. So we are ascending rapidly. So thank you all for your support here as we continue to build this mass awakening about Washington, D.C. and how the system actually works. So thank you all for being here. Okay, let's take one last little look at SCOTUS, and then we'll head over to the Capitol building, hang out there for a couple minutes. All righty. Zosh says I can help you get more. Awesome, dude. That would be superb. Yeah, we have our little milestone 600, but now we always got to push to the next level. Dub 3973 says send his family to Iran. Z says drop a like if you're enjoying the conversation. I second that. And Notorious TBG, welcome back, Notorious. Welcome back to the stream, man. Happy to have you here once again. And it says SCOTUS, who legalized sports gambling and ruined the only pastime we had left. Yeah, Notorious, you should check out. So last night we did an episode on sports gambling, NIL, and college sports in particular. So I think you would enjoy that podcast for sure. I brought my buddy on who is really into the sports gambling side of things, really into college sports. So I think you would enjoy that one. Yeah, we discussed that topic last night. Alrighty. Your Uncle 80 says, DC looks amazing, bro. Not going to lie. It is a lot of fun. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous city, honestly. And with the National Guard, it has helped curtail some of the crime as well. It's not perfect by any means. I'm not going to try and say it's the safest place on earth to be, but it's improved a lot over the last, ever since I got here in January of 2023. The homeless situation has improved tenfold, if not 20-fold. I mean, like, it's a whole different city when it comes to that issue. So I'll give some credit there. And then just the crime in some areas has precipitated a little bit, gone down a little bit. So still not great in some of the areas, but and like the touristy areas, it has improved though. Hey everybody, so we are walking to the U.S. Capitol building now. I'm going to be hanging out here for a little bit, taking y'all's questions, continuing the chat. We're talking about war in Iran. We're talking about Israel. We're talking about Washington, D.C. and sports gambling, a whole wide range of topics this morning. So if you're interested, drop a comment below and join the conversation. Something smells good, man. Yeah, we're hanging out here with you guys, taking your questions. Got a couple new comments here. I'm heading to the U.S. tomorrow and heading to D.C. as well. So where should I visit? I'd try to go to a couple museums if I were you. Well, first, how much time will you be in D.C. for? That will kind of help me pick out places you should go first or prioritize. Oh, guys, here's Senator Jim Banks of Indiana, I think. Yeah. And Alumni says, hi, watching from Iran, love you. Love you too, stay safe. And here, let's see, HHIC 4570 has a comment. What they are not saying is Iran had another site called Pickaxe Mountain, where they had a trigger and a detonator for their fission bomb. America still hasn't recovered it. And Sir Aldog says the price of rent is ridiculous in DC. Yeah, man, it's goodness. Yeah, that's one of the more difficult parts of living here, is that the rent is quite pricey. Even if you have, like, I'm lucky I have a roommate. We have a pretty affordable place right now. But like, if you're if you're not careful with it, you can be paying $2,000 a month easy, if not more. Okay, let's check out a couple of new comments. Zen Krufter says, looks to be overcast in DC. What's with the sunglasses? I just usually like busting them out, wearing them. Like it's kind of, sun's trying to peek out a little bit here, but I'm not sure if it's going to make it. But yeah, it's just kind of swaggy as well. Gotta love my Versace vision. Good question, though. Good question. Oh, speaking of weather, I'm not sure if you guys saw, I haven't read into it all that much, but what chemtrails are real or something, or confirmed by FBI documents, or I'm not sure if that's just internet slop, but I saw that from a couple people. And then, okay, so Zost will be just for a few days. Yeah, so what I'd do is I'd go to a museum or two on the mall. I'd walk the National Mall, look around the White House, look around where I'm standing right now in DC, like go to the Capitol building, check out the Supreme Court building, go to the Lincoln Memorial as well. So that's what I'd suggest. And then go to a couple of Union Pub is a very fun restaurant. So yeah, go to a couple restaurants and bars and stuff like that as well. Okay. God Creator 8432 says cookies, and his cookies are getting hot now. Don't let your cookies burn, man. Go check them out. 5551, I believe Marita, excuse me. Free people of Iran from evil regime. And then 80s Philip says, LOL, finally sunny here in Minnesota. Yes, they are. It's true. Z says, I saw that as well. Nikola Tesla, geoengineering, stratospheric, arsenal, injection. Marita says, people of Iran want freedom from radical Islamist regime. Thank you, Trump. Thank you, Bibi. Philip says, hashtag chemtrail awareness. And it says, please don't start about Trump, please. Frank says, what happened to the 50 pages that went missing with Trump involvement with the 13-year-old girl? And then Z says, how about that alien.gov domain registration? Ooh, hey. Yeah, it's kind of, you have Obama and Trump recently, talking about aliens are real. Just very, very funny timing, isn't it, Z? And God Creator says, that's funny, I'm a baker that has donuts from scratch to be made. Do you run your own bakery? Let's see. Z says, they about to blue beam us, question mark? Never know, bro. Philip says, a great alien deception coming. Nikola Tesla also talks about Project Bluebeam. God Creator says, just a retail store bakery. Tracking. That's awesome, dude. Funniest outcome would be they point the domain at a self-deportation website. Yep. Absolutely, dude. Then Muhammad says, go, America, go. Hello, Muhammad. Thank you for joining the stream this morning. Nikola Tesla says, I'm a high-level schizo 10 hatter. Colonel says, pay those taxes, lads. Israel is running low on munitions. Then Philip says, LOL, Nikola. Rick James says, only Patriots with Lindsay, YouTuber worth a watch, stay frosty. Then says, my dog craps in the Quran. God Creator says, who supports Iran war? Yeah, we're at a pretty solid 40-60 split. It's been about 40-60 the entire morning so far. So there's been a lot of people in and out today. From what I can tell, we've had pretty strong viewership. So I think a lot of people are sticking around for a minute or two voting on the poll, then going somewhere. Rick James says, God bless you, sir. Thank you, brother. Everybody, for just now joining the stream, would love to remind you, if you're just here now, please hit that subscribe button, leave the video a like, drop a question, drop a comment down in the below. We're having a wonderful conversation here today, talking about a wide range of topics. So would love if you support the channel and hit that subscribe button. Sir Aldog says, is it true they supplement your rent if you make under $80,000 a year in DC? No, there's a lot of Section 8 housing. I don't think, yeah, like if you're on assistance or public housing, I think you qualify for some of that stuff, but not me though. I haven't, I'm not involved. And so I'm sure there's some programs that will help people with their rent. Zah says, he says, free Israel and free Palestine. God bless us. Philip says, free Palestine and 3U, alumnia. Sorry, I can't pronounce that. Waiting for our old days to come get the Shah back into power. God Creator says, wait, what do you do in DC? So I used to work in the U.S. Senate for 2 years. I used to work for a senator from Indiana, and then started this channel just a couple months ago, really trying to show people like day in the life in DC. I also host a talk show on Tuesday, Wednesday nights as well. We do research, talk about a topic geopolitically, all that good stuff. And then I also attend events and protests in Washington, D.C., and we interview people. We do man on the street interviews, chit chat with people at protests, really to show you guys what's happening in Washington, D.C. So, yeah, would love if you guys hit that subscribe button so you can be around for the next one. John Medina says Palestine got clapped. They are free now. Kid Stardust says top 3 Roman emperors. It's a good one. Here in 1 sec. And then Z says make Persia great again. God Creator, wow, never seen a senator make YouTube live videos. Guys, my family forced me on Judaism. I want to convert, but I'm lost. All right, 3 Roman emperors. Caesar, Julius Caesar, Augustus, and I think Augustine. Yeah, I'll go with those. Thing is, I haven't studied the Roman Empire as much yet. We've talked about the Roman Empire once on the show before, when we discussed the Bethlehem and Yemen episode for the Christmas. That was our Christmas episode, and like how Jesus was born. Went through that story as well. So admittedly haven't done a whole lot on the Roman Empire yet on the show, but that's something that we'll hit that a little more in the future. Philip says I'm spiritual, not religious, and Colonel says still waiting on that first Epstein arrest. Right? Yeah, they're able to. There's plenty of time and resources to take a look at Joe Kent and Tucker Carlson, but man, it's just really, really impossible to get an Epstein arrest. Philip says religion creates separation, spirituality creates unification. Barclay says secularism creates peace. Sir Aldog says it's not only the Section 8 people, they actually subsidize anyone's rent that makes under $80,000 a year in DC. I wish my friends and I knew about that program. That would be really helpful. Maybe it's for, I don't know, maybe there's certain stuff that, or certain criteria that must be followed or met for that to happen. Barclay says the masses could all be given a home and never made to work. Retro Pocket says purple suit, duck lips, and zero bills pass equal peak DC cosplay. Yeah, dude, the city is not all that effective. Abnullah says, alongside with the IRGC, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, God Creator says probably have to happen. And then Phillips with laughing face emojis. God, where's the National Guard? We'll find some National Guard. They usually don't hang around the Capitol because there's Capitol Police here. But they're more on the National Mall or kind of in the neighborhood areas a little bit. Okay. Let's see. Illumina says F the IRGC. Kid Stardust, Marcus Aurelius Augustus, 3 Trajan. Technically, Caesar was not an emperor. He proclaimed himself as a dictator, but it counts. Philip says IRGC committed crimes against humanity, and Barclay says Israel did too. All right, let's see. We have a question from Philip says, is there water behind you? Nope. I think sometimes there's water on this little platform, but not today. Usually in the summers. And then the boss, 2846, has a question. Do you support the war in Iran? So I'm not against internal regime, if like the Iranian people conduct their own regime change. But yeah, we should not have to send our money or our soldiers or our equipment for the regime. I just don't see how it really helps how this is the most important thing that the government needs to be focusing on right now. That's just my view, though. Some people have different views on here. That's why we're here, and that's why we talk about it on here. And the nation's capital, one of probably the only channels on YouTube where where you can have a respectful discussion with people on here about all types of political issues. God Creator says no troops in Iran, but looks like that's coming. Philip says I do not support war. It was not the U.S. business. And then Z says no boots, full support of naval and long-range ops. Philip says thanks, Aulden. Then God Creator says what about the Cuba thing? That's one. So maybe this upcoming weekend, I mentioned I have this wedding. I want much time to research or be on the channel, but need to do a Cuba episode soon. Need to do a deep dive into Cuba because that's seemingly beginning to accelerate in intensity and focus on Cuba, especially with Venezuela now out of the picture. We're going to have to look at Cuba. So God Creator says, thank you very much, dude. Appreciate you big time. Love the support, man. Thank you. Ken says Cuba is next. And then answer a question, why don't you guys prosecute the people on the Epstein list? I'm in full support of it. I think everybody that is seen of wrongdoing needs to be investigated. All these people should be investigated, and those that are found guilty or found liable of doing heinous acts should be prosecuted. Yuck says gasoline prices are going up in my country of Singapore. Z says CENTCOM is handling Middle East. Southcom can roll Cuba in a night. Barclay says, or Philip says Trump acting like a dictator, like he can just take what he wants. Barclay says, yeah, he's got dementia. MB Chum Bum, or CH Bum 9851 says, does that include Trump? Yes, yeah, anybody that doesn't matter what their beliefs are, what their position is, anybody who is implicated in a criminal way or criminal wrongdoing in relations to these files needs to be investigated, and if found guilty under the legal processes in our country, prosecuted and thrown in jail. Philip says, I just subbed Aulden. Thank you very much, Phillips. Appreciate that so much. God Creator says Cuba needs to be aligned with the United States. Z says he can. Who's going to stop him in terms of Trump kind of taking over? Herbert says Cubans for Trump. Woo. 40 Faraz says hello Faraz. Welcome back to the stream, man. Happy to have you here. Hope you're having a great Thursday. Colonel says every act like we're not 40 trillion in debt. Philip says alignment but not conquered. Herbert. Kuma says, hey, look who it is. Didn't expect to see you today. What's going on, man? Glad to see you today. And Z says, how do you suppose we lower the $40 trillion debt if not by war? Viken says, I like how Trump threatens to invade European territory and then begs for help as soon as he starts a war. LOL. For us, as tomorrow is the Persian New Year. Hey, awesome. Congratulations. Super cool. What, that's March 20th? Okay. Gotcha. Is it March 20th every single every single year, I suppose. Kuma asks, do you think it would be better to capture the oil refinery over destroying them? That's a good one. I think, see, what the conflict has kind of boiled down to now is it's this attritional, like this different asymmetrical warfare. The Iranians know they can't defeat us with traditional military tactics, so they're trying to target, they're trying to make it an economic pain. They're trying to stress out the Gulf countries, especially we see Saudi Arabia, like MBS, Qatar, UAE, and Dubai. All these cities are trying to get off of the just being a petro economy. So if the tourism, if people are scared to fly to the Middle East, or if they are scared to invest, and if like oil volatility is screwing with people, so yeah, like it's definitely going to cause a lot of pain right now for a lot of people. So, and a follow-up from Kuma, and what's your views on the Iran war? While I am personally not happy with it, it's necessary since only because terrorists only cause problem for everyone. So like I'm opposed to the conflict in the sense that when we'll walk through the White House here in a few minutes, but you'll see just all of the homeless people on the side of the road, or in the alleys, and I don't know why that we have these problems that haven't been dealt with, even though homelessness is better in DC. So young people are not owning homes or having children. So, yeah, I think we should put America first and let, if the Israelis want to deal with the regime, God bless, that's totally fine. I'm not pro keeping Iran in power, for sure, but I just don't think they really pose an imminent threat to us. And look at just what we've done to them as well the past couple of weeks. We killed their leader. We've blown up so much of their shit. They're just not as strong as I think people give them too much credit, I think. Faraz says, are you familiar with the IRGC doctrine? I'm not. Could you tell me a little bit about it? Then just some dude says, is it really lost on people that the same reasons were used to invade Iraq and nobody learned from that disaster? Yeah, it seems like it's the same kind of playbook a little bit is being used here. The same, you see it in the media, right? It's there might be a terrorist attack from drones off the coast of California from Iran, like the Southwest Airlines video, I'm sure. A bunch of people were on the Southwest Airlines flight and holding their hands up, and because they thought there was a bomb or something on the plane or whatever. So it's the same thing that happened 20 years ago. Philip says, should be 13 months with 28 days in a month, etc. Who tubed you says traditional war, meaning fight us to our strength, not our weaknesses. And Facts says, thanks President Trump for liberating Iran and Venezuelans. And Jim says, thank you, Brutal Facts. Just some dude said, I think Dubai said repeatedly Iraq had WMDs when intelligence showed otherwise. Right, yeah, and that's another thing. It's like, yeah, that would just didn't happen, right? Donald Trump's, that's why he got elected, was to do exactly the opposite of what's happening right now. So, disappointment. Philip says, gotta go start my day. Got 2 cats, 2 pubs, 1 spider, and 4 3-week-old chicks and a 6-month-old hen to be fed. Be well and safe. Thank you, Aulden. See you next time. All right, much love. Have a wonderful Thursday. Just some dude says, W. Okay, George W. Bush. Gotcha. Okay. Thank you for the clarification. And Kuma says, you finally trust or try a good coffee shop. We're going to walk around DC today. Once we're going to start walking to the White House here in a couple of minutes. We'll move on from the Capitol. But on the way to the White House, there's a couple good coffee shops we can check out. So, all right, guys. Well, I think we're going to depart from the Capitol. Take one last little look at her. Got the American flag and all. Beautiful, gorgeous building. But we're going to move on. We're going to start heading to the White House in downtown DC. Faraz, I think your comment got filtered out because this is the most recent comment I see from you right now. So YouTube must have swatted it away. Sam says, do you support war in Iran? I'm not pro-Iran regime, but I'm also at the same time, I think we should put America first and make sure that our people, have health care or homes. Young people have a chance at having a family and owning a home one day. So I think there's just some stuff that should take priority. Yeah, sorry about that, Faraz. Yeah, YouTube, maybe you can divide it into smaller messages, so maybe it might not take as long. Let's see. And God Creator says, it's a beautiful building. How's that ballroom coming? I still think they're trying to work on it a little bit. And then Ham says, that's 2-0. Wait, you lost Afghanistan and Iraq. That's 2-0. What makes you think you can win this one? Send those boots on the ground, big boys. Afghanistan and Iraq was a loss. Sam says, but medbeds of Trump were coming. What happened to that? City Boy says, Hamid, go fight it then, Warhawk. Well, I think Hamid or Ham is against the war, and that's my guess, though. Let's see. Colonel says least favorite amendment, 19th verse. That's funny. Faraz says, so IRGC Mosaic Doctrine. 664 says Prince or Michael Jackson. Do like some, man, I'd say Michael Jackson, probably the better artist, but I do love some Prince as well. Listen to each of them from time to time. Good question, though. Yeah, any questions are allowed, everybody. So even if, yeah, Prince or Michael Jackson, can be politics, can be sports. We're here just having a good time, hanging out together in Washington, D.C. We're just now leaving the U.S. Capitol building. We're going to start heading down to the White House, continue taking your questions, hanging out with you guys on this Thursday morning. Kuma says, what's your favorite time period of America? Why Pakistan is not going total war against Iran? Faraz, after defeating the heads of the IRGC, it will split into 31 armed groups. Kuma says, my favorite is Cold War for wacky inventions. Deftones or Modest Mouse? Can't lie with you there. I'm not familiar with either of those two artists or groups. Maybe if I heard some of the music, it could kind of remind me, but I can't remember, not off the top of my head right now. And then City Boy says, oh, my bad. AI war. Don't forget Korea, Vietnam, Somalia, and Iraq. Brutal Fact says Iranians celebrate dancing in the streets, thanking President Trump. Faraz says, and keep fighting. Saudi will drag Pakistan and Iran due to security deal happened earlier. That's right. Yeah, they did have that like security like last September or something. All right, let's see here. How to walk across the street. Man, a lot of good questions today. Want to try to get to all of them. I'll do some quick yes or no kind of answers. Sam says, do you think racism towards Vivek is justified? Like actual like pure racial hatred. If we want to avoid that. But stuff that is like maybe stereotypes or just kind of generic jokes, I don't think is the worst thing ever. Because people make fun of white people too. But yeah, like if someone like goes up to him and screams, like, yeah, just intentionally tries to mess with him or like yell at his kids, then that shouldn't be something that should be desired. John says it's the corporate world. Remember, Rockies just celebrated and first celebrated and thank Bush. Kuma says dark chocolate milk, chocolate or white chocolate? Dark chocolate milk. Al Dog says, how long do you think it would have taken Iran to be a nuclear power? And then Z says at least 2 more weeks. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard some from a very reliable source, very reliable person, that Iran, they have been 2 weeks away from developing the nuclear bomb for the past 35 years. Can you guys believe that? Telecom to Cloud says, give me your sunglasses. For how much? Kuma says, yes, good questions. While I'm over asking about food. Fraud says, I also believe as much as the regime is bad, but toppling the regime will cause crisis. Colonel says, Did you see Mark Wayne Mullen cry on camera? No, did that happen yesterday at the hearing? City Boy says they still haven't found nukes. Z laughing face emojis. Z says sunglasses are very drip. Thank you, big man. Yeah, love my Versace's. It's yeah, it's definitely part of my brand a little bit here, part of my style. Are you a journalist? I kind of, yeah. I started my own independent media channel, just really building my YouTube channel right now. We hit over 600 subscribers earlier in the stream, so we're definitely pushing there. We're getting every day the viewership on our streams improves a little bit. More people vote in the poll. So we're ascending. Yeah. So yeah, just a reminder, if you're new here and you're enjoying the conversation, we'd love if you guys gave the video a like, hit the like button, also subscribe to the channel. If you're enjoying this conversation, we host discussions like this all the time. So would love to have you guys here for the next one. You can. You're absolutely allowed to call me Men in Black. Sir Owdog says, LOL, 35 years from 2 weeks away. Why is Israel's nuclear weapons not inspected by the nuclear powers in this world? Why are they exempt? That's another good question that people are asking. Yuck says, may I call you men? Yeah, I got that one. City Boy says the United States have not found any nukes in 40 years. Brutal Fact says wear sunglasses at the movie theaters makes much easier on the pupils. Then City Boy says, final Billy, you are a chicken hawk. Fred Leach, 38, says the war is getting out of control. Iran is stronger than ones might have thought. Yeah, and the thing with Iran is that they've known this attack has been formulating for decades. They understand that they know that one day they were going to be attacked or they would be invaded or something of that nature. And they basically made it like Bowser's Castle on Super Mario. Locked everything away. They have a ton of cheap defensive drones and ballistic missiles. They knew that they'd shut down the Strait of Hormuz to try to screw up with the oil prices. Like, they've had this game plan ready to go for decades. So they've been waiting for it. Let's see. God Creator says Jews are just really special. Laughing face emoji. Sam asks, do you watch Midas Touch? Their views are exploding. I think I've heard of them before. I haven't checked out a whole lot of their content recently, though. What's some of the stuff that they talk about? City Boy says, what's your opinion on... Ooh, good one. I just don't think that we should be funding this conflict or funding the Israelis. That's just my view, though. Black Market says Iran has no chance. They're now shutting down the oil market. I've heard this game plan from Iranians over 20 years ago. Yuck says, I think Trump needs more high inflation for better U.S. economic and back petrodollar for U.S. global partners. Let's see. I've heard this game plan from Iran 20 years. Okay, I got that. Gas, $10 a gallon. Go figure. Clink says 1948 isn't biblical. Matthew 15:1. Sir Aldog says, hi. Hello, Sir Aldog. Thank you for joining the stream this morning, big man. Happy to have you here. Fred says, you're so right. Clink says 100% agree. They start so many wars, like all the wars in the past 5 years. Fred is saying Trump is freeing them facts. It's just gas. Get some exercise. So here's how far we've already gone from the U.S. Capitol. So we've already made it a good low distance away. Yep, I'm in the swamp itself. And Z does make you a good point. Like, it won't, so the gas prices, it will, because like food delivery, other transportation, everything just gets more expensive automatically if gas gets higher. So all of us will feel it in a way. Like, I don't have a car right now, so I won't have to maybe feel it on a more regular first-hand basis at the pump, but I'll still feel it through other methods, other means. Clink says we do not support war. Free Iran from the Revolutionary Guard so we can live with our Israel friends. Live to Survive says, morning, sir. Hello, Survive. Thank you for joining the stream this morning, big guy. Always love having you here. And then God Creator says, eggs will go crazy again. Swiss Michael says, IRGC will not give up without boots on the ground. Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, for there to be regime change, there's going to have to be some kind of invasion to remove the people that still remain and the remnants of the regime. So without that, you're just not going to get the regime change. And that means if the United States leaves now, it's a victory for the Iranians. That's what makes it tough. All right, Bear. Much love, dude. So here's the Canadian embassy. Embassy of maybe the 51st state. Haha, who knows? Okay, let's see. "2026 says it takes gas to deliver goods. All prices will go up, and that if boots are on the ground, we'll be in this thing for a decade with nothing gained." Go in there, ask for maple syrup. Let's go back a couple of comments. There were a lot just 1 or 2 minutes ago. Z says they want boots. We shouldn't give it to them. Kurdish forces can do the boot work. Having a Christian country not being forced to be a Muslim is a win for me, please. And then Miguel asked, why are you sending American men to die for greater Israel? Yeah, a lot of people are asking that right now. Americans betrayed the Kurds too many times already, adding that if you don't want your kids go to war, don't let them join. Let's see. Swiss Michael says Iran doesn't really have an opposition. The regime is so deep in all parts of life. Draft is coming. Taking Iran's power is a good thing. Military power. The Live to Survive says terrorist state. Assume One says, oh, what's that lion statue called? Is it in Ngami? No, that was just outside of Capitol Grill, a restaurant here in Washington, D.C. Jonathan Gray says that, remember, Jesus Christ loves all of you. Keeping composure. Woke Toria doesn't support it. All of MAGA is about to get bone spurs. Is it possible that nuke will be used by Israel international capital? ADF 6755 is asking, how is everyone enjoying their 401k, stock market, and gas prices now? Dirty Money says, are just fine. Gas is so cheaper than under Joe Biden, LMFAO. Welcome back, Dirty Money. Welcome back to the stream this morning. Happy to have you here hanging out with you guys. Yeah, it's actually so cool that we're building it. We're building this channel in real time. Like truly, like in every single day, we're expanding our reach and our more people are becoming awoken and joining the channel. So we are doing phenomenal right now. So Yeah, thank you again. And earlier this stream had a fan text in and say we hit over 600 subscribers. So that's a big milestone for our channel. At the beginning of last week, we were under 400. So we've grown by over 200 in the past 5 to 6 days. So we are really doing some great things here. But I cannot do it without you guys. Mr. Tahoe says stock market is awesome for an actual trader. Dirty Mind says good morning, sir. Israel won't need to use nukes, and says the stock market is CWC WAG says the stock market is liberal and Jewish. Tahoe says, you silly peasants think there isn't opportunity for the markets. Z says, I wish my coins would decouple from the market for once. Mr. Tahoe, what are we bidding? Wish you the best. This is my first year as a non-conservative. Oxygen, been buying calls on Oxy. Swiss Michael says, what's his channel about? Love from Swiss. Yeah, so on this channel, we do informed research. So like Tuesday and Wednesday nights, I have a talk show and we discuss, I'll research a topic. So like this week, we did the country of Ireland as a St. Patrick's Day special. And then last night, we talked about the March Madness tournament and sports gambling and all those laws going on in the country, all the young people that gamble a lot. So we talked about that. And we also host these streams where I'm walking around Washington, D.C., showing you guys the city, taking you to cool buildings and all that stuff. And also when there are protests and other large community gatherings, I will go and interview people so you guys can hear what they have to say. So on the ground in D.C., each and every day. Dirty Money says, I keep getting dropped from your channel. Every time I visit, it's the same thing. Why? Oh, like, is it kicking you out of the stream? That's weird. Amor says, how old are you, Aulden? When's your birthday? I'm 26 years old. Huh, that's weird, Dirty Money. Well, thanks for coming back each time it kicks you out. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. That's very odd. Right here you have the archives building as well. So hey everybody, if you're just now joining the stream, new to the stream, would love if you gave the video a like, hit that subscribe button as well, so you can make sure you won't miss a single day, a single episode. Would love to have you around for the long run, as we are pretty committed here. We're well above 600 subscribers now, and now we're trying to get to 1,000 as soon as we can. So we're going to keep grinding here, meeting more of you guys. So on St. Patty's Day night, we after the stream, we streamed for couple hours Tuesday morning. And then that night, I went ham at the bar, and I got 16 new subscribers at the bar. So I'm also trying to expand the channel's reach, even when we're not streaming. So I've gotten pretty good at being a little salesman with the show. Talking about AI right now. And yeah, AI, it's going to be pretty big. It's going to definitely change day-to-day life for tens of millions of people here coming up soon. So something to keep an eye out on for sure. Live to Survive says, ever thought of printing YouTube cards? I have, yeah. I need to. I've thought about that. That's something my some of my buddies here in DC will encourage me to do. Because yeah, then it can just be like, I can have like the QR code on the little card, something like that, and have it redirect for people easier. See. We're going to find a coffee shop here in the next couple of minutes. Yeah, we're already a little over 90 minutes for the stream. Really solid stream so far. So let's see if we can go across here. Said I've had that problem with my channel as well. Yeah, definitely. Like, especially, it can get a little hectic sometimes. Everybody, we're having a good discussion about crypto and AI. It appears down in the chat, so definitely join the conversation. And join God Creator, Live to Survive, Z, N3U, Swiss Michael, C-Wag, a couple of other guys down there chit-chatting about the conflicts with AI and all that stuff. So we're going to be hanging out here monitoring this stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I do think there is an advantage to taking risks while young in particular. So, and so we're nearing the White House. We're not that far from it now. So let's keep going. Actually, yeah. Well, shoot. Yeah, let's cut up the street first. Actually, we got to find a coffee shop soon. Because I just forgot brackets lock in 35 minutes for the tournament, and I haven't filled out my bracket yet. Shoot. You're kidding me. Let's see here. To find somewhere. Oh, Compass Coffee. Perfect. All right, cool. All right, everybody, we just made it to the coffee shop. Yeah, survive, yes. So, all right, well, here, what? So I'm gonna need it. Just got to the coffee shop. I'm going to need to end the stream here. We'll get back on in probably 30 minutes or so. We'll head to the White House. We'll check out the White House for a couple minutes, but for now, I'm gonna need to end the stream so I can get my brackets done. Some other stuff too. Got some other errands to run. So we will be back in a little bit. So just a reminder, if you're new, please hit that subscribe button, leave the video a like, and we'll be back later today. Okay, so you'll definitely be able to join the future streams. All right, everybody. Well, much love, and we will see. Check you guys out a little later. See you soon. Good poll votes. 471 of you guys voted for the war in Iran poll. So, alrighty.